Okay, into the hot jar goes some turnip greens. A few pieces of turnips. One-half teaspoon of salt. And boiling water till you have 1 inch headspace. Then goes the lid, the band. You just tighten the band till you feel resistance, leaving it a little loose. Just tighten till you feel resistance, not too tight. Then into the pressure cooker. Packing it like this. I got my 8 pint-sized jars filled with turnips and turnip greens. I have a few turnips left over, so guess what's for supper tonight? Okay, so now I'm going to pour the hot water in here. I don't want to waste the energy that I used to heat that water, so I'm going to pour that hot water in there. Turn the heat on high. Going to put on the lid. Now what I will do is I will leave this off, let the water start boiling, producing steam, and once steam starts escaping from here, I will start timing 10 minutes, and I will allow steam to escape from here for 10 minutes, and what that does is that forces all the air out of the containers. And after 10 minutes, I will put the weight on at 10 pounds, and I will turn the heat down until this just gently rocks. Set my timer, and after the amount of timer recommended by my recipe, I will turn it off, let this cool down, take this off, and my jar should be canned. Okay, steam has been escaping for 10 minutes. So now I'm going to put the regulator on 10 for 10 pounds of pressure. And what I will do now is allow the steam to build up. After a few minutes this will start rocking, and when it starts rocking I'll turn it down until it gently rocks, and then I'll start timing, and according to my recipe to can turnip greens in 1 pint jars, I need to allow this to cook for 1 hour and 10 minutes once this starts rocking. Okay, as you can see in here, the regulator is rocking. The heat's still on high, so what I'll do is I'll turn the heat down to medium or low. I just want this to gently rock. I'll start the timer now, and in 1 hour and 10 minutes, my cans should be done. Okay, it's been 1 hour and 10 minutes, so what I'll do now is I'll turn the heat off and allow the pressure to drop on its own. And I will not remove the weight until the pressure has equalized. It's been 30 minutes since I've turned off the heat. The pressure should have fallen. We'll remove the weight. You never want to remove the lid without taking the weight off first to make sure the pressure is down. Remove the lid carefully. Now steam will rush out when you open this, so you want to open it away from your face like this. Now we'll let this sit just like this for another 10 minutes to cool down a little bit before we remove the jars. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. So now we'll take the jars out. And allow them to sit undisturbed for 12 to 24 hours, at which time we will check the lids and make sure that the canning was done properly. Now these, when these cool down, the lids collapse and they won't make a popping sound. And these have already cooled down enough to where the lids have collapsed, and they will stay down. And if the lid pops up, that little button right there pops up where you can click it, then you know that the canning was not done complete for that jar. And if that happens, then we'll take that one and just put it in the refrigerator and go ahead and use that one. Okay, it's been 12 hours. Our cans have cooled down. And what you want to do is check the lids, make sure the lids, there's a vacuum in here which makes the lid collapse, and so it shouldn't pop. It should be in a down position. Alright, so as long as it's in a down position, the canning was successful. Okay, what you want to do is take off all the bands. Now bands are reusable. You can wash these and use these again. Lids you use for one time. You don't store your canning with the bands on them. It's not necessary. And what happens is this will start to rust if you store them with the bands on them. So I recommend you take off the bands. Sometimes they're a little bit sticky, so wipe them down with the wet cloth. Now people ask me, what is the storage life of your canned food? And that depends on several factors. One being what temperature you store it at. If you store them in your attic where it gets real hot and where there's wide temperature fluctuations, it's only gonna keep for about a year or so. If you store it in your basement where it's cooler, it'll keep 10 times longer. In general, 3 or 4 years is best. It won't poison you as long as the button does not pop up. The food is good. What happens over a period of time is it loses its quality in perhaps texture, in vitamins, perhaps color, but it's still good. It just decreases in quality over time. After 3 years, it may begin to decrease in quality a little bit. You might notice a little bit of difference. 4 or 5 years, you could probably, if you have to, you could probably keep them 4 or 5 years. After 5 years, you can still eat them, but there's going to be a noticeable drop in quality. So I recommend that you plan on storing them no longer than 3 or 4 years, 5 years at the most. What I do is I can this year's crop, and then I put it away. I don't use it till next year, and then next year when I'm getting in next year's crop, I'll take this year's crop and rotate it out, put it in the pantry, and put next year's away for the following year, and that way I always have a year of canned food. Okay, you want to mark what it is. Turnips. Mark the date. All right, store them away. Well, another thing that makes it decreases the quality over time is if they're exposed to light. You want to store them in a dark place. You also want the glass jars. You want to protect them for breakage. And the best way to do that is to put your jars in the box that the jars came in, with the cardboard partitions in the box. And if you have an earthquake or something, this will protect them from breakage. It'll also protect them from the light. This is Survival Doc, reminding you, be prepared, or be prepared to be fleeced.